Hi, my name is Shawn Shaler. I'll give my last name this time. That's my friend Chris Ford, aka The Objective Geek. I don't know why you need to know our names. You just need to know Chris's Twitter handle. It's at objective_geek, or find him on YouTube, The Objective Geek. That's where you can watch us. If you're here, you probably know that already. That's a lot of excessive information. And Chris, I've got to start off with some bad news. I just noticed it right now that so recently I bought this fancy new microphone and it works great, but it picks up a lot more sensitive sound, I guess, than the previous microphone. And I have the clicky mouse this week, so if your ears were just assaulted by like machine gun the volume level of mouse clicks, I'm super sorry. But thanks for coming anyways. This is Book 3, Fire, Episode 3. That's 43 overall. It's The Painted Lady. And yeah, I don't know if we have a lot of news this week, but we do have something we're going to do before we jump into the episode. As always, though, Chris, how you doing?
I am doing decent, doing good.
Excellent.
No complaints.
It occurs to me that in the last episode, I asked you about your latest videos, but I didn't ask you about like your upcoming ideas. You've always got like one big up and coming idea, and I didn't ask that last time.
By the time this one, probably the same day this episode is released, I should have my Sokka and Zuko video essay done, so that should be up. And then I'll probably have a review of Infinity Train Season 2. And then also maybe we'll review this short little Deathstroke show on the CW Seed, which is not the CW. It is like their offshoot thing app that they put random crap on.
It is really random, isn't it? I have it as an app on the Fire Stick, and it's very strange what is elected to be put on there. But whatever.
Yeah, I don't know.
It seems like it cycles too sometimes, right? Like it's not constant. It seems like it cycles out. But I might be mistaken.
Yeah. No, I think you're right.
So Sokka Zuko video coming up, and a couple reviews of Infinity Train, and I already forgot the other thing you said.
Deathstroke,
that's right. Yeah, that's what's coming to the Seed? To CWC?
episode 1 is already on there. So far it's pretty good. I only have 15 minutes left. It's like 38 minutes for this one episode. I'm not sure if it's episodic or they're just doing it in parts. Hard to tell so far. I gotta look more into it.
Gotcha. I don't have any immediate videos planned, but I just put a better graphics card in my computer so that hopefully I can play and capture games better on my computer. So I'd love to make a few more small video game reviews. Especially, I'd love to go get the Avatar games, specifically on the PlayStation 2 and the GameCube and the Wii. I kind of forget what the distribution is. I think it hit both of those, or all three of those consoles. I'd love to play those at some point, and I think that's in my near future. But first, if you don't mind, Chris, I have to share a random embarrassing story that I just thought of, and I feel like this is the right place to share it. So for my graphics card, I had to buy an extension cable for the graphics card. So I ordered on Amazon 2 days ago, and I'm in like a 2-day window for all of Amazon. So I didn't expect it yesterday. So I didn't check for it outside. I didn't check for it in my orders. I went in through the garage like I always do. I don't even know if I got the mail. I just didn't do any of that. So then today I got home and it wasn't there. I was like, that's weird. So I checked my orders and I tracked the package. It shows the picture of it outside. And so I was like, all right, well, it definitely got delivered. It just isn't there. So I guess it got stolen, right? It's an Amazon package on the front step. So I did what any normal human would do. And I filed, I checked in the house. I checked in the bushes. I checked everywhere first. And then I requested a refund. I was like, hey, I know it shows it got delivered, but it's not here. I don't know if it got stolen or what. Amazon's great. They gave me a refund right away. Like 10 minutes later, my wife comes in the house. She had come home from lunch and dug it out of the bushes today and neglected to tell me either thing. And then she didn't leave it in the house. She came home from lunch, got it out of the bushes, and then she took it back to work with her, which I don't understand. So I had to go to Amazon and be like, hey, you know that thing I said was stolen? Well, it was my wife. And you can please have your credit back so I don't feel like an idiot. And that was honest to God, I know it's just over a computer and it's dumb, but it was one of the more embarrassing moments of my adult life that I had to return money to Amazon because of minor, I don't know what you'd call it, unusual circumstances. But long story short, I've got a better graphics card, and hopefully I would like to be able to emulate the Avatar games. I will purchase them. I'll support the used crappy game market. No offense, Avatar games, but I don't think they're going to be great. But I'd like to be able to emulate them, capture them, and do little reviews, and then guilt Chris's viewers into watching them. I think that'd be a lot of fun. And I don't know if we have any other news items this week. We got some good stuff last week. So this week, Chris took the liberty of planning something very interesting, I think. We're going to give it a shot. Chris, do you want to offer any introduction?
Yeah, so since this episode we're reviewing The Painted Lady, I got some more thinking about all the spirits in the Avatar world, and just between Legend of Korra and Avatar: Last Airbender, which ones have the better spirit world, as in like the setting and everything, and which one has the better spirits. And I have no idea what your opinion about this is, so it should be a pretty interesting discussion.
I will try really hard to keep my opinion spoiler free until it is time to offer it. I don't do that very good all the time, but I will try really hard.
Yeah, so we'll first go over the spirit worlds and how they're depicted in each shows, and then we'll go over the kind of some individual spirits. So we'll first start with the spirit world. So to me, when we're first introduced to the spirit world and Avatar: Last Airbender, like it's pretty limited, right? Because Aang goes to spirit world pretty much in only one episode, and that episode is I can't think of the episode with Heibai. Oh, the Winter Solstice Part 1.
Oh, that is Winter Solstice Part 1, isn't it? Because it always seems like it doesn't fit in with that title, but
yeah. Oh, and then he goes in Spirit World and Siege of the North Part 1 as well. Yes, Siege of the North Part 1. And that one, like I feel like if I had to do a radius, like it's probably just a mile radius that you get to see of the Spirit World.
There's like a city block of the city of the Spirit World.
Yeah. But it's way more like foggy, way more mysterious, which I could see people enjoying that aspect of it more. And pretty much you're only introduced to, there's a big giant wolf kind of spirit thing walking in the background, just minding its own business. And there's just like a lot of trees. Like at that point to me, it just looks like a swamp, but like a spirity swamp.
You sound like if Sokka were to describe this swamp right now. Like, guys, I went to the spirit world. What was there? It's like a swamp, but like a spirity swamp. I can literally picture him saying that.
But in Legend of Korra, like we're introduced to like Miyazaki-esque spirit world. Like it is vast, it is diverse. We're introduced to many different locations, including the Fog of Lost Souls, the Tree of Time, and that whole thing is interesting. And then just other areas of it, like it's upside down, it's downside up. A lot of the setting is influenced by the person in the spirit world, especially the Avatar, because they are Brahma, the spirit. And to me, I found that, and it can be really bright, it can be really dark. So to me, I found the spirit world in Legend of Korra to be far more interesting and better. Like has way more character to me.
Are you giving your answer already? Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah, might as well.
Okay, no, I'm gonna hold mine in. I'm gonna bottle it all up and a big reveal at the end. Now, I think you do paint a great description of the spirit worlds there, that to the extent where between the two seasons they almost feel like totally different places, and I suppose it's because in the sorry, I said seasons, between the two different shows. And I think the majority of that is just because it does get to be explored and by necessity need to be explored so much more in Korra. But yeah, it almost feels like two different places. But the world progressed in their knowledge of the spirit world in that time. apparently quite a bit.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, and like you said, Korra had a book called Spirits, where she, went to spirit world a lot. In that, I feel like that they probably take place. That book takes up 30% of the runtime in that season, which compared to Avatar: Last Airbender takes up maybe 1% at the most.
That might be
But
a
that makes
generous
sense.
1%. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's go on to like looking at the spirits involved in each respective spirit
Yes.
world.
So in Avatar: Last Airbender, these are a couple of the more notable ones. The Painted Lady, as you can see, she defends that little small Fire Nation town. I find her really interesting because I'll get to this in a little bit. This theory I have about the Painted Lady. And then there's Ko the Face Stealer, which is an awesome creepy character. Like it's funny because he doesn't feel that spirity to me. Like he feels very physical.
Yeah, it just kind of feels like a very just a monster. I don't know how else to say it, but
Yeah.
I get it.
And then Heibai, or the panda spirit, which I find really cool. I think that design is really awesome, especially that duality of it being that soft kind little panda, which is it's a panda. It's not like a bi breed of something.
It's just a straight up panda. You're right. I never thought of that.
Yeah.
That's weird. That's a great design and kind of a first. I don't want to say the first glimpse into the spirit world because I don't remember all that well, and I'm sure I'm missing details. But
I think it is.
it's a pretty big glimpse early on into the spirit world, and probably as much of a glimpse as we get in the whole first show. So that's a good episode, or an interesting episode for that, at least.
Yeah, yeah, very much so. And then, of course, you have the moon and the ocean spirit, which are probably the biggest spirits we meet in the show, in the original show, and they have so much lore on them, and of course, they play a huge role, especially with the ocean spirit taking over Aang, um, which is just amazing moments there. And then Roku's Dragon Fang, which this part is interesting to me, or maybe there something needs to be retconned here,
I have a
because
question based on this, but I assume you're gonna get to it here with your explanation.
well, yeah, I don't have a real explanation for this one, because so in the Avatar universe, it's heavily implied. I can't. I feel like I can't say for certainty, but I feel like someone could draw a different conclusion that everyone is reincarnated, even in interviews. Because before, when they were pitching it, they're like, "Oh, maybe Momo is a reincarnation of Gyatso, Monk Gyatso," and then they scrapped the idea because they didn't like it. And someone had asked them about it, asked Brian and Mike about it, and they're like, "Yeah, we didn't like the idea. Gyatso is just a reincarnation of somebody else, and Momo is just a reincarnation of another Momo." So, so animals have souls, right? Humans have souls, and souls get reincarnated into the next body. So, why did Fang? Why was he a spirit that went into the spirit world? Um, so that I don't have a real answer for that one. I really don't.
I also think it's a little strange, like when we talk about the, excuse me, like the spirit of Avatar Roku himself. Like he's not a being of the spirit realm. He's just
Oh
one of
yeah,
Aang's past lives,
that's
and so
that's that's a that's a topic of discussion with Avatar fans, right?
yeah, and so it's
Because
like maybe Roku's
the
dragon
Avatar,
is more like a, I don't like. I guess it doesn't by necessity have to be a spirit in the same sense, but I don't know. It
like
it's an
avatars,
inconsistency at least.
there's no afterlife in Avatar: Last Airbender, right? The spirit world is not the afterlife, but when when avatars die, one thing their spirit is core. They're all the same spirit.
It's
They're
even.
all the
I
same
always go as far
soul.
as to think it's like it really is. It occupies the same soul. That's probably better than whatever I was gonna say. Is that like that
Yeah,
person isn't like speaking from the grave? Like no, that person is just. It's still within the avatar's own conscious and
I
that's
think so. Yeah. Like when they're in the spirit world, that heightens their spirituality, hence their past lives can come out.
I think that's fair.
The only part of that contradicts that sort of is in
The Crescent
um,
Island one.
Escape to the Spirit World thing,
Oh,
where Korik is like, "Oh, I gotta leave. I gotta go look for Ko," and then it's like, "What the heck? Like, what are you talking about? You're not a spirit." And like, maybe it could just be Korik being dumb, um, or his.
I was actually gonna say the part where Roku like manifests himself in the Crescent
Oh,
Island or whatever that was, the Crescent Temple, and he kind of like
hey, that makes
manifests
sense to me.
into a real being, I guess,
Yeah,
a separate real being. But I
yeah.
suppose
To me, that's just like
he could still
the Avatar
occupy the
spirit.
same soul. Yeah, just
Yeah. To me, that's just the Avatar spirit morphing itself into a projection of Roku, right? Because like even then, Roku at that time is like 8 feet tall or
yeah.
something in that point in time. But he's really not that tall. He's really only like I don't know 6 foot or something like that.
I'm okay with that theory, I suppose.
Yeah. But the way I look at the Avatar spirit, because some people are like, oh, well, Korra lost connection, but maybe she could find them because they they think that Aang and Korra like they are different spirits, but they have like. But to me, that so I can't even speak to that because that doesn't line up with what the show tells me. Like they are the same spirit. Like these lifetimes are Wan's lifetimes. Like when Rava's spirit fuses with Wan's soul, and then together they move to the next body. They get reincarnated into the next body. Um, Now that becomes confusing because like there are spirits and can converse with his spirits with his past lives, and then when Korra um, gets her past lives taken away from her, she has no connection to them anymore. So I think of it as like a computer, right? So like there's the there's there's the shell, right? There's just the physical things that contains the compartments of the computer. Then there is like the CPU, whatever within there. Then there's the memory thing. Like that CPU is the soul. And there's the memory thing. And like with Avatar, right, each time that CPU moves to a new shell, it takes that memory with it every single time. Um, like it holds on to it, right? And so when Korra got her past lives rid from her, all that was completely destroyed. Or I like to think of it as like a cloud. Like the soul is a CPU, but their memories are saved up in the cloud. And when it was cut off, that cloud just went away. Like you can't connect to that cloud anymore.
Yeah,
That cloud is gone. It was
you
destroyed.
lost internet access. She cut it off. She went off the
Yeah,
grid. I like that one better. I think that one makes more sense to
that
me
one
of
makes
the
more
cloud
sense.
being
Yeah,
sort of
that
a,
makes sense.
even in the way that it's like it's a metaphysical place where
Yeah,
these memories or this substance, whatever that is stored, that is being
yeah,
accessed by physical things throughout time. It's like only one thing gets to access the cloud, that specific cloud, at a time,
yeah,
and that's fine. It's a very special cloud, unique to you. It's your own cloud,
yeah.
but only if you're the avatar. I like that description, though.
Yeah.
That's a good comparison.
But still, so I understand why Roku Spirit can show up because of that. Because it's just Aang manifesting this memory and how kind of like an AI would respond back because it has all the memories of Roku. Like it's not necessarily Roku responding back, but it's Roku's memory responding back. It's sort of like in Man of Steel with Jor-El. You remember Man of Steel? I love Man of Steel, but like
I don't
Jor-El
remember it. No, I'm
implanted
sorry. Sorry, I
his.
just shook my head and realized you couldn't see me. No, I don't remember it well enough to speak to it.
Oh, well, Jor-El like implanted his like not necessarily his consciousness, but just what his memories and everything into the computer that Clark goes to visit, and eventually Zod destroys that. So to me, that's kind of what the past lives are. They're not that person's soul, but they are like that person's memories and how they would. Your memories dictate. Your memories and your experiences and everything dictate how you would respond to someone, and this is just how they would respond to Aang or to Korra, whoever their most recent avatar, current avatar is.
So, and that avatar is in the spirit world. Therefore, it enables any avatar previously to be manifested in some form in the spirit world for conversation with the avatar or with the spirits.
Yeah, and then even
For the
when
avatar.
yeah, and then even so, then once you become more spiritually enhanced, like Aang did, because he was able to talk to the spirits without having to go into the spirit world. He was able to talk to his past lives without having to go into the spirit world. He would just be able to like manifest them really in his imagination right there. Because I think if Katara or anyone was there, they wouldn't be able to see all the avatars there talking to Aang. Like they're not there. I don't think even Roku would be able to, not Roku, Iroh would be able to see them there. Like, to me, that's just Aang talking to them in his own. That was just a visual representation of Aang having a conversation with himself. But really, to me, it was like in his head, sort of. Or he just saw it there.
It's fair to associate it with like meditation. Like he could be having just a deep sort of interpersonal conversation.
Yeah.
A meditative state in which he would be able to do that more easily and feel as though there was a real presence there. Yeah, I'll buy that.
Still not sure why Roku's dragon is a spirit. But maybe it felt like it just had a duty to guide the next avatar and it just kept itself from being reincarnated. Or maybe it had, I don't know.
This sounds like a spin-off series that needs to happen because I really like dragons, so I'd watch a spin-off series. I have another spin-off series also idea, but it needs to wait till after I reveal my preferred spirit set of spirits.
Yeah. Okay, so in Legend of Korra, so far, if you notice, we haven't talked about Wan Shi Tong, he who knows 10,000 things. He shows up in both shows, so.
Oh yeah, I forgot about him.
I didn't really include him in there. He is cool though.
Deserves a nod.
So in Legend of Korra, we have Iroh, who, of course, we all love Iroh. It's Iroh. Rava and Vatu, Ae, who was like that monkey spirit that helped out Avatar One. The dragon eel spirit. He was the one that talked to Korra. Like Korra tried to get their help. He was like, "Nah, I can't help you." But she was trying to fight Kuvira. Then there's this dragon bird spirit who didn't say a word but talked to Korra. I'm sorry, didn't talk to Korra, but helped Korra. It was a little bird that she like. She was a little chubby Korra in the spirit world, took to her nest, and then that bird with the other three birds made like this phoenix spirit bird. Dragon bird spirit thingy. Anyway. And then there was a nice little like cute spirit that was a dog at first and showed Korra the way and guided her to Toph.
That spirit is a heavy favorite spirit of mine. Very charming.
So like I would say this about the spirits in Legend of Korra. I love the story of Rava and Vatu. Even though it feels a little bit like the Moon and Ocean Spirit, Tuan Li. Like to me, they kind of serve a similar. They're just in similar things like good, evil, stuff like that. Even though I don't think the Ocean Spirit and the Moon Spirit are good and evil, but that's the way the Ko describes them.
Yeah.
But I do really love their backstory. And so in talking about Iroh, which I may do a deeper dive video into this, but Iroh became a spirit because before he died, he left his physical body, went to the spirit world. Just that sentence alone, but you could jump to the conclusion that anyone who can meditate into the spirit world can do that, can become a spirit. Like Zahir can meditate into the spirit world.
That seems like some higher level stuff, which I could see Zahir becoming a spirit. I wouldn't have a hard time, like just.
Yeah, but like that one random guy, Iway, I couldn't see him doing it for some reason. He doesn't seem cool enough to be able to become a spirit after he dies.
Well, don't you know there's somebody at the gates that's like, you're not quite what we're looking for here. Like,
yeah. So the way I was thinking about it is that, so in actual, I think it's Buddhist beliefs, like everyone gets reincarnated until they reach nirvana, which is like enlightenment. So I'm sorry if I'm butchering this, but they can reach a point to where like their soul is fine with the world. It has nothing else to do, or it's coming to some type of enlightenment. I feel like you have in order for you to do what Iroh did, you have to A, be spiritual enough that you can meditate into the spirit world, and B, reach some sort of type of enlightenment that can let you not only meditate into the spirit world before you die, but can sustain you there. I feel like if you try to do it and you're not enlightened, then you'll be lost in the fog of lost souls. So the painted lady
That's
comes
really
into
deep.
this.
It's real deep.
So, so the thing about some of the spirits in Avatar: Last Airbender is I feel like they're a little bit more human. Like to me, they have a little bit more backstory. And the painted lady looks very human, like far more human than any spirits in Legend of Korra. Legend of Korra spirits just look like
You
they
call
got.
it backstory. It's funny. I was thinking about like more structure, I guess. Like they,
Yeah.
what's the word you used earlier? It feels more like a physical thing when you're describing Ko. And I'd say that about all of them. It feels like they live by or exist in more of a defined way than the spirit
Mm-hmm.
world that we see in the Legend of Korra.
Yeah. I just wonder if the painted lady was an actual person who pretty much maybe followed the same path that Katara followed, but when she died, she was like, I still have to protect these people, and so she became a spirit. And um, oh, we forgot one, Princess Yue. That's what I forgot.
Oh yeah,
Princess Yue became a spirit, and she has a sad story, right? She became a spirit. So I just think there's a little bit more human aspects to the spirits in Avatar: Last Airbender.
you say about she's got the painted lady protecting this village. Well, why the hell wasn't she protecting the village? Like, you just gonna show up when the work is done? What a load of
It's a good
shit!
it's a good question.
Like, hey, sorry, I was taking a nap. Thanks for, thanks. Like, no, that was years and years. Whatever.
Like, oh hey,
She's a cool
I just went
spirit.
to the
It's
store
fine.
real quick. Like, what happened? It's like
What you guys
maybe
do? When did
I
you
was
run to
gone
the
for like
store? 50
5 minutes.
years ago? Like 5 spirit minutes, whatever. But
Yeah, 5 spirit minutes, 50 human years,
would you
whatever. It's
clean up this river or something? I would say it is neat in the. So I don't think, and you'll have to forgive me, or I guess better, you'll have to correct me if I'm wrong. It's in Avatar: The Last Airbender. We kind of get this concept of like the painted lady thought to watch over this village, or Heibai watching over that village. Like there's more of the pull of the spirits. How do I want to say this? Like intentional spirits intervening in
yeah,
real life, but with a purpose, and only certain ones or something like that. I don't know. It's very definitive and in funnels, whereas
yeah.
obviously in the later seasons of Legend of Korra, after after I can't think of the name, Harmonic Convergence, is that the name?
Hmm.
And
Yeah.
obviously it's a little different at that point, but I don't know, it's treated differently how spirits in the physical world act and behave than it is in Legend of Korra, for better or for worse.
Yeah, I do think spirits in Avatar: Last Airbender also they're more worshipped, right? They're more like
Yeah, kind of
yeah.
like
I think they're more worshipped because they have these duties that they do. While in Legend of Korra, just like oh hey, there's a spirit there on the ground. Hey, back up. Like some of them like backtalk the spirits and stuff.
it's
Um,
almost like
which
it's comparing like what maybe you think of Avatar: The Last Airbender is like guardian angels, or like what you think of as like people in the afterlife. Like, I know it's not it, but it's something closer to what you think of like that. And then you get to Legend of Korra, it's like it's more like poltergeists, really. It's
yeah.
just like rule free and causing chaos and destruction.
Yeah. All right. So which ones do you like more?
So I think the best and most interesting spirits and depiction of the spirit world, I think it's Legend of Korra. I would argue that it's not really fair argument just giving to the like
Pick
given
two.
the amount of exploration done in that topic and in the spirit world in the Legend of Korra, it's not really a fair fight. And also you have Iroh and Rava and Vatu, like those being your first ones on your list, and I don't know, that's huge. It's like the story of creation in Rava
Mm,
and Vatu,
yeah.
like this. So
Very good point.
I would argue that it's not a super duper fair fight, but the point still holds true. and that's part of what makes Legend of Korra such a great show. And as you kind of said earlier, makes it stand on its own as it takes a deeper dive into some of these into a completely different theme, and that's the end result. Is you get a really cool spirit world, really cool depiction. I will say that me personally, in a vacuum, I really like sort of the mystery that the spirit world comes with in Avatar: The Last Airbender. I don't really like knowing all the answers, and I said I had an idea for a spinoff. It's like I could watch a whole series of like some Avatar character trying really hard to learn about the spirit world and find the ways to access it, and having all these crazy conspiracy theories and going to the edge of the earth and just failing time after time after time. I would happily watch 20 episodes of just that, and it would thrill me.
Is this like the Imaginary Beasts spinoff ish of?
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, I'll take that.
Avatar.
Fantastic Beasts, but hopefully
yeah,
better.
Fantastic Beasts.
Hopefully better than the second Fantastic Beasts movie. No, just trying to get to the point that I do really appreciate like the mystery and knowing less and not really needing the explanation or the further interaction that we get in Korra. But again, that's just a path that Korra takes that makes it unique and charming and different from the original Avatar: The Last Airbender, and it's a great depiction of the spirit world.
Yeah, I'm pretty torn. So on the spirit world, I definitely, without a doubt, like Legend of Korra better. It's just so vast. Like, and I just love that animation, especially when her and Jinora first go into the spirit world. It's just so trippy. And they really got up on their Miyazaki on this one, I think. And then it, like, just the places have way more lore. Like the tree of time, like how that was like Vatu's original prison, but even before Vatu's prison, it served a purpose that like great monks or great people could meditate here and see all types of visions. And Korra used it several times. The Fog of Lost Souls, and then we see freaking Zhao back in there again. So I just really love that setting a lot more than
Zhao.
Avatar, than Avatar: Last Airbender.
Get what you deserve.
When it comes to individual spirits, of course we do have Iroh, and that's almost cheating because it's Iroh.
It is. If you throw that out to make it a fair fight, maybe it's a different discussion. Because you get more Iroh. That's perfect.
Yeah. Oh gosh, I remember when he first showed up. I literally got out of my chair and jumped up and said, "It's mother effing Iroh."
That's back. Exactly what Spirit Iroh would want you to say. That's how he would want you to respond. But even like Rafa and Vatu, like, well, like him or not, like that's the creation of the world that we know.
Yes, yeah, yeah.
That's pretty unfair in its own right. It just happens that it's unfair, but really cool.
Yeah. That'll be interesting if they ever do a live action Korra, which I'm sure they'll maybe get around to. Like if they dive even deeper into that episode, like go into like the actual creation of the universe, like when it started, like there was nothingness until balance was like split in half. Although the lion turtles came first, I'm guessing, because Rava refers to them as Ancient One, and if I'm referring to someone as Ancient One, they must be older than I am.
Yeah, you typically wouldn't refer to like an underling as an Ancient One. Like that's not. Yeah. But time behaves differently in the spirit world, so maybe not.
Also, we didn't talk about the lion turtles, which I don't think they're spirits. I think they're like a fifth dimensional being or something.
They carried life from another dimension into this empty dimension and started. It's really the lion turtles that we should all be thanking.
Yeah. Oh, they're definitely the gods of the universe.
You know what it kind of reminds me of is in Xenoblade Chronicles, like the idea of like whole worlds living on the backs of these giant behemoths. Like that's what the lion turtles are. They're just little world carriers. Well,
also, I'm really curious where they came from, because I'm pretty sure they didn't come from the spirit world. Like, I don't imagine them going through the portal, or even because like, one thing, they look too big to go through a portal, but or maybe they can just like teleport between the spirit world and the physical.
Or maybe they're really small beings in just like in their bedroom or something in a much grander, bigger, vaster universe somewhere else. We're just Avatar: The Last Airbender, the spirit world, just creations just toys for them. I don't know what I'm talking about.
But between the two, I think because there's just more, probably admiration for the spirits, and to me they have more of a personal story. I'll probably give an edge to Avatar: Last Airbender. I think I like their spirits more.
There's especially the dive. I'll stick with my answer, but I certainly like,
Yeah.
as I mentioned, the idea, like just the idea that the painted lady is watching over this town, even if she's doing a shit job. And hey, bye, like I don't know, you get kind of a deeper dive into a few spirits, and it's few and far between, but it feels special and unique each time. But then, like I said, in KORRA, if you're into that stuff, there's a couple of seasons of KORRA that are really going to strike your fancy. That's an interest. I would like to see you delve further into Iroh's character, specifically in Legend of Korra. I would like to watch that video. I don't even know where you would go with it. Just deep dive into how Iroh got there and what his purpose is.
Yeah, I did some research. I already did an Iroh video on how I think he, on his first encounter with the spirit world, which I'm pretty firm in that theory there. Pretty much that he was just so stricken by sadness that opened himself up to new possibilities, the same way that KORRA connected her spiritual side after his son died. But yeah, all the other stuff, I do kind of, there's more there to get into.
And you can never have too much Iroh.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, with that being discussed, I think let us go on to the main portion of the. I said the main portion. It might be shorter than that portion, but the main portion of the podcast, which is the episode, "The Painted Lady." That's Book 3 Fire, Episode 3, and I don't know how else to describe it other than like action's not quite picking up yet. Like real mainline action, not quite picking up yet. We're still just getting in that general direction of season 3 action.
Yeah.
But don't let that belie my opinion on the episode overall, though.
Yeah, and this is one of the faults that, not big fault that season 3 has, but season 3 is pretty fillerish.
This early portion's got some steps in there.
Yeah, like I feel like we started off like really deep stuff, and then went really not deep with the headband, and then we went a little bit up with the painted lady here. But I
certainly think
yeah,
so.
like it's not reflective of what I think about this episode. Just kind of the general season, how it is.
This is a prime example of an episode that you could pluck and drop most places. It just happens that it needs to be in the Fire Nation, I guess, to have the full impact that we're looking for. But you could pretty much pick it up and drop it anywhere, and it'd be fine.
Yeah. All right, so the gang comes across a town or village, like they're all sick and starving, and the place is all polluted, the river's polluted, and they pretty much they want to help them out, but Sokka is pretty gung ho on this on this schedule that he has. Also, I zoomed in on this, and it looks like Sokka invented Excel, because when he pulls out like his schedule, it just looks like an Excel spreadsheet that was like printed out widely and then given and then just shown, because like it looks like there are cells in there.
Sokka is a data bender. Fun fact. That is his bending power. Computer bender.
I'm gonna change my title to data bender.
Data bender. That makes it sound like you're doing bad things, like you're manipulating data to make it say what you want.
It sounds exactly like that, which, hey, maybe I do. No, I don't do that.
That's what all data analysts do to an extent, though. Let's be honest.
Yeah. True. So like I kind of miss. I did way more of that at Payless. Back when that was a thing. I can't really do that at the state. The state's like, no, we need to be we'll just present the facts.
Whereas at Payless, it's like, listen, I know sales are down, but look at these UPTs.
Yeah. What metric do you want to look at today?
To figure about
Whichever metric is the best one.
Let's pull that one out. I don't miss that part. But regardless,
I kind of do, because you're painting a picture with data. I don't
Painting.
know.
There's artist interpretation in painting, though. But anyway,
Anyway,
who knew
speaking
that
of
Sokka
painting, the
invented
painted
ATLA?
lady
Yeah.
is is a spirit that this town worships. And Katara brings upon herself to help the town. Day by day, she sneaks off and is helping the town out. And it gets to one point, and she she makes it look like Appa is sick and stuff, so that they have to stay in that village so Katara can keep helping out people. Which I love this as a Katara episode. I think this is one of my favorite Katara episodes, more so than even the Waterbending Master.
Yeah.
It just completely informs the character, and
It hits
in
you in the
watching this
feels a little bit.
episode,
Yeah.
yeah. And it gets to the point where Aang, I love this moment between Aang and Katara dressed up as the Painted Lady. Like, he wants to introduce himself because he is the avatar, the bridge between the two worlds.
And he can't leave well enough alone. And get the hell out of here.
Yeah. And he's like, hey, I don't mean spirits, but you're pretty. And then, like, for some reason,
Aang pulling out the
I
A
found
game
that.
on the spirit ladies. All right.
Yeah. Like, geez, Aang, man, all right. I mean,
That's a long distance relationship, Aang. I don't know if it's going to work.
yeah. And then he finds out that it's Katara, and and together they, they take out the factory. Because Sokka before explained that in order to really save the village, you got to take out the factory because the factory is one that's polluting all of these seas, all these ocean, rivers, and everything. Anyway, her and Aang take out the factory, which I think there's some good animation here.
And across the board, they do a great job of making the town just like it's lots of browns and kind of green and brown and stuff, but not really in a. I don't know. It still kind of pops in a weird, gross way, which I think is what they're going for. It's not a muted thing. It's intentionally gross looking. The whole thing, the whole setup, and I like that.
Yep. So then the factory people the next day are like, hey, you guys destroyed our factory. We're going to pretty much destroy this whole village, which is really messed up. Like, this is a Fire Nation village. These aren't Fire Nation people, but they just don't care at all. All they think about is war. And then my favorite moment in it comes when Sokka gets mad. Right? Sokka's like, I know you're the Painted Lady. We have to go. You can't help these people anymore. And my favorite line Katara ever delivers is, I will never, ever turn my back on people who need me. That just completely informs the character of Katara. I absolutely love that moment.
Hits you in the feels really hard, and as much you mentioned the waterbending master, I don't think there's anything she does in there that hits you in the feels quite as hard as what she says there. And great voice acting, you really feel it. It sounds great, looks great.
Yeah. And then afterwards, Sokka says he'll help out, and he says, I'll never turn my back on you. And then Katara says, you do have feelings, don't you, Sokka? And then Aang is like, there's a Toph, and he's like rubbing his eye to keep from crying. He's like, he really does have feelings. And then Toph just hits him. For some reason, just love that moment.
Toph, like, I gotta bring this back down. It's starting to get too squishy in here.
Yeah. So Katara dressed as a Painted Lady again, and together with all their bending and stuff, they kind of make it look like she really is a spirit. And Katara drives away the factory people. And eventually, the factory people figure out that Katara is. Well, they don't.
Not them.
They know she.
Not the factory.
Yeah,
people.
they don't. I'm sorry. The village people figure out who Katara is, but they don't think she's a waterbender at all. They just think she's the girl. Wait,
yeah, they're just like,
she's a waterbender?
You're like the girl from who bought fish the other day or something. See, now I can't remember if they know she's a waterbender or not. I think they uncover. I think they
must know
they
she's
know
a waterbender.
that. I believe.
I think so too. See, I'm always humbling myself, right? I can't. That's what I get for trying to say that I know everything about that.
And like I said,
Anyway.
when you watch them in bunches, I don't know, stuff runs together, details, whatever.
But Also, there's a man named Shu who's who's walking around as different people, as different brothers. You know, just some comedic relief there. Yeah, Shu. Oh, that's my brother Dom.
Shu
Shu sells shoes.
and Dong.
Dom sells stuff by the dock. Or Doc. No, that's his name.
Doc. Okay.
Yeah.
Doc's. And then there's another one who I can't remember. I don't remember what else it is.
Yeah, all I know is Shu and Doc.
He doesn't land super well for me because I don't really understand like what, as far
He's
as
just
humor
kind of
goes.
crazy.
Yeah, it's not really funny. It's sort of just like weird, but that's okay.
Yeah.
You know,
That's probably more of a setup humor.
Yeah, swing and a miss sometimes.
Yeah. So anyway, they end up cleaning the. I like how the townspeople are mad at Katara, and then and Toph in the crowd says, "Maybe we should clean up the river." And then oh no, I love that.
I do really like that.
Yeah. And then together they all clean up the river. That's pretty much the episode. I don't remember if Zuko's even in this episode or not, or even if there's even a B plot.
I don't remember any B plots in this one, but again, there could be a sneak into Zuko visit with food or something. I don't remember. It's all running together. But so they clean up the river, and then eventually, I think it's that evening, the real painted lady visits Katara. That's that picture we had back here. It is Stitched Inks, yes. Right? She's a pretty spirit. Visits Katara and says thank you when she gets back from the store or wherever she's been for the past decade. And I know it's kind of cool. Maybe it's one of those things where the people of the town are superimposing what they want her to do on what she's actually capable of as a spirit. And she's not actually able to and doesn't actually protect the village. It's just like folklore. But she is able to communicate and make a present. But I don't know, because Heibai was pretty much destroying stuff. So I'm confused. Anyway, Painted Lady, do a better job. But I think that is that's the whole episode. She gets a visit from the Painted Lady.
That's the whole episode. Yep.
Let's get to some ratings.
All right. Ratings real quick. Audio visual 8. I think there's for a show, this episode didn't really have, I think, that much conflict. It still had a lot of good action in it, especially when we destroyed that factory. Story 8.5. I think this completely informs the character of Katara. I mean, I'll take it down a notch because it is fairly inconsequential to the plot of the whole entire series, but still very good Katara stuff here. Very, very good. Memorable, 7.5. I think before I rewatched it recently, I could probably skip it. Really, I could just watch a couple of moments with Katara in this episode. I think I'll get my fits out of it. But the other parts of the episode, I think are fairly skippable.
It sounds like
so 7.5.
Like going through the trouble of fast forwarding just to get to certain parts, though. Like that to me is more inconvenient. Like I'm gonna go ahead and just let it play. It's fine.
Yeah. So that brings it to an 8.2 out of 10.
I had very similar ratings. I went 8 on audio visuals. Again, I thought they did a really nice job of making it all feel kind of gross and nasty. I think that's the idea. Not a whole lot else going on. Story 8.5. I thought might be inconsequential, the grand scheme, but it stands alone very good. Just a good independent episode of Avatar: Last Airbender. 8, it's pretty memorable. It's one that I would never skip personally. I think it stands out enough, and I think about certain things from this episode a lot. And it rounds up to a nice 8.2. So,
wow, this has never happened. We were exactly the same on 2 episodes in a row.
2 consecutive episodes, and the best part is that I usually you get your ratings to me first, and then I put my ratings in, and I try not to let yours influence it, but I know it happens. But this one I had both of mine in there first, so to see them line up that way, I thought was pretty impressive. So. Yeah, it was kind of cool. 2 out of 2. This one, again, maybe a little inconsequential or pluck it and drop it wherever, but I think it is just independently a nice little Avatar story. So you should give it a watch. And there's the pretty painted lady that Aang hit on. That's not Aang in the background. That kid's got too much hair. Anyways, we hope you enjoyed this podcast episode. and probably just keep coming at you with some regular episode by episode stuff in the near future. But obviously, we've got
I would say if you want to have any more comments or questions, be sure to leave them. I love answering any of them.
You know, it'd be kind of cool, and we've never really done it before or talked about it, so I don't know why I'm saying it out loud now, right now, when we're like recording and stuff. But I think it'd be really cool for somebody to suggest like an episode topic, like whether it's a partial topic within an episode or something specific to discuss as a full episode. I would love that. That would flatter me greatly. So, yeah, please leave your thoughts, comments. Chris does a great job. I try to get on Chris's videos and read through those comments, and I don't do it as good as I should. But Chris does a great job of reading. Hey, in my defense, you get notifications for your own videos. I get
notifications. That's fine.
I don't want to like scroll through your videos all the time. Sometimes I leave innocuous comments just to like let you know, like, see, I did watch this. Just like proof. Anyway, please, comments, thoughts, constructive criticism, whatever. It can even be non-constructive criticism. That's fine. Who knows what we'll do with that, but leave whatever you like. Thank you very much for watching and listening, and I'm Shawn. That's Chris, aka the Objective Geek of YouTube and Twitter, and we will see you next time.